Welcome back, guys. This is episode 5 of Game by Thrones. We have 2 guests on today. We actually have a couple. It's kind of a different dynamic. I'll say that a couple times throughout. We have Caleb Bacon from Lake Mills and Kennedy Kelly from West Hancock. They are dating, and they're both very good athletes. So we thought, hey, they're friends of the program, so we can have them on and have a really good conversation. That's exactly what we did.
Absolutely. Kennedy's been a loyal supporter ever since kind of we started, and obviously Caleb is from Lake Mills, somebody we followed and called games for all winter, so it's a good time.
Yeah, we had a good conversation, so we'll introduce the accomplishments like we do every time, and we'll get into this podcast.
So we got Caleb, 2-time All-State football, as well as 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. He was the 1A captain in football this year, 2-time first-team All-Conference basketball, 3rd-team All-State basketball this year, Conference Shuttle Hurdle champ, Conference baseball champ, 2-time basketball state qualifier, and conference champ. He is also the career rebound and steals leader at Lake Mills. Kennedy, her freshman year, she made it to state basketball, went to state in the shuttle hurdle and the 400 lows. Sophomore year was 3rd-team All-State basketball as well as a semifinalist. Junior year, 1st-team All-Conference, 2nd-team All-State basketball, regional finalist in basketball, as well as 3rd in the state for threes made in all classes. Now, she is only a junior, so she'll be back for one more year next year.
Yeah, 2 very accomplished athletes so far, and it was a very fun conversation. So grab a throne and listen to Game by Thrones. This is episode 5. Thanks for listening, guys. All right, guys, welcome back to episode 5 of Game by Thrones. We're with 2 guests today. We're changing it up a little bit. We have Caleb Bacon from Lake Mills. Obviously, we covered his basketball games this past year. Really talented athlete, committed to Iowa State as a preferred walk-on for football. And then we have Kennedy Kelly, his girlfriend. So this is going to be a little bit different dynamic for podcasts. I don't know if really anybody's ever done this before. They interviewed
Couldn't
maybe
tell
a couple.
I've seen one, yeah. No.
Yeah, I don't think so. But she's from West Hancock. She's a basketball player. You're in track, and also, what else are you in? Are you doing softball this summer?
No, volleyball.
Volleyball, okay. So 3-sport athlete, two very athletic area athletes. So it should be a good conversation today.
Absolutely.
Do you want to get right into it? The one question that Caleb wanted us to ask?
I mean, the one question Caleb wants to know, in a golf match, how many strokes are you beating Caleb by?
Not many. I would say.
But you're winning.
Yeah, you're winning.
Yeah, I would say I'm winning for sure. Mm-hmm. But it's not good. I mean, I don't have to beat much, obviously.
Yeah, I agree.
Right away.
Caleb's not. We've seen his golf game. He's not very good.
Yeah, I've golfed with him. It's not pretty.
Driving, I can hit the ball pretty good. Sometimes with my irons, but driving and putting is just like not my good stuff.
Okay, well, you can't be good at everything.
Imagine working at a golf course like your whole life and just not being good at golf.
Yeah, no, that's probably why they kicked him out.
I mow grass.
You guys just get yelled at by old guys, right?
Yes. Shout out, Mayo.
Shout out, Mayo. Yes.
Well, Fritz.
The next question I have is, so Caleb, you're committed to Iowa State, obviously. Your family is Iowa fans, correct? Or is it kind of both?
It's kind of mixed. Like my dad, he went to college at Iowa State. He's kind of a little bit of both. I showed you that video of him getting excited about that
Getting excited about Iowa State. That's right. That's right.
And Mitchell and those guys are like all hardcore Iowa, but mostly it's a mix.
And then Kennedy, you're Iowa State fan. Your family's like all Iowa State, aren't they, or no? Yeah.
Yeah, we're all Iowa State fans.
Did that have any?
Hold up.
Ooh.
Yeah, let's just make sure we know exactly what side this duo falls on here.
It's a little warm in here, so Chris is taking off his coat for our audio listeners.
Just
he may or may not have an Iowa Hawkeye shirt on now.
I mean, to be fair, the last time Iowa State beat Iowa was like when they were in sixth and fifth grade.
I can't even remember. It's been so long. Freaking Caleb Bacon. Anyways, with your decision to go to Iowa State, did Kennedy have any pull with that? Possibly going to Iowa State, being a huge Iowa State fan. Did she convince you to be a Cyclone?
Decision, like, kind of one thing, like, stood out to me kind of when big school, whatever. Nobody else really offered me a PWO like they did. So she can think she has most part of it, but she's actually, we were talking about this before, and she said she was the one who gave me the idea to she told me to send my huddle link to one of the coaches from there. So that happened, and then he looked at it in a couple weeks.
So basically,
she actually is the reason. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Didn't actually expect that, but also, I mean, in a weird year, like, because kids can come back next year, so like all the smaller schools, like a UNI or most of those guys are probably come back
for the extra COVID year.
Yeah,
which that eliminates a lot of scholarships because the coaches are kind of uncertain about who's going to come back. And
when they gets back to normal, who knows? Maybe get bumped up to something.
I know that's the plan.
That was a conversation with like a lot of coaches this year. Was like, you got to check like roster spots. You got to like check who's coming back, all that stuff. It was kind of annoying, honestly.
Yeah.
What you got to do?
I mean, yeah, it was a weird year for everybody.
FCS is just starting their playoffs.
They're a couple weeks. They're a couple weeks in. I think they just had the quarterfinals late yesterday.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
all sports get another year.
I think it. Yeah,
I believe so.
I was looking at a chart the other day. I believe all sports did.
Pretty sure.
It was kind of iffy on a couple, but depending on the level, like JUCO, NAIA.
Oh yeah, true.
It's a little iffy, but just about everybody
got one.
Yeah. So yeah, that leads us into our next thing. Kennedy, do you have any plans yet for college? You know, you're going into your senior year. What are your plans there?
Yeah, I'm not really like 100% on anywhere, but I have been looking at some colleges and I've been taking some college visits and just going to like some junior days and playing with the basketball teams and stuff like that. But I'm probably not going to decide anything until probably around basketball season this next year, just because I'm playing a lot of basketball this summer, and so hopefully a lot of looks will come in.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that last year or the summer before your senior year is kind of when it picks up a little bit. It seems like.
I committed for football during my senior year of basketball, which was a little weird, but that was the only interest I really got for football.
Yeah,
so that's
I could have played offensive tackle.
Okay, story time. One of the coaches that recruited me and signed me to Waldorf went up to Chris during my signing day and said, "Oh, I know you were an offensive tackle."
So Chris, no, that was 10 years ago.
Chris is like, "No, I've just gained a lot of weight since high school." So that's a little inside joke there with that, because Chris played tight end in high school.
I was right next to the tackle.
You were right next to the tackle.
It was close. It was very close. But so our family dynamic, I mean, we have 4 brothers and 1 sister. It's opposite for you. So like, we know how it is living with 1 sister. How is it being the sister living with all boys?
I think it's really fun. I definitely think you can tell when a girl has a lot of brothers just by like how they act. It kind of makes you into a new person, separates you into a special category. But yeah, it's definitely fun, and it teaches you how to be tough, and you kind of learn all these boy things that none of your girlfriends know, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was great growing up with brothers, just like supporting them in all their sports, because I'm kind of like the mother hen a little bit, and that's kind of how I treat my brothers. But yeah, I think it was good. I loved it.
Yeah. Did you? So we have obviously a sister.
Yeah. Do you think Kristen would have the same answer?
No, I don't think Kristen would have the same answer at all. She'd probably think she's similar there, but Kristen would always try to play sports with us growing up, and it just did not work. Like, Kristen, you can't play. Is it the same thing with you? Like, be like, hey, can I play?
Not like that. She didn't have talent. We just didn't allow it.
That's true. We just didn't allow it. That's true.
She's also not like the very youngest one though. She's the second oldest. So.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So like I kind of
right. So there's different that way.
Kristen had a disadvantage.
Yeah,
that's
but
true.
I definitely played with my brothers in like football, wrestling, whatever. I could never beat up Cole or anything like that. I couldn't beat him in wrestling because he was always like huge as a little kid, and so yeah, he
still is.
But, yeah, still is.
Yeah.
But with like Hayden and Creighton, I always beat up on them. Creighton, I'm kind of starting to lean away from that because he's starting to get pretty big too. So I can't do that anymore. But I still definitely play with my brothers and try and get in those games whenever I can.
Mm-hmm. I will say I don't think Kristen's ever beaten one of us up. No, she's faked some injuries.
Oh, she's the master
manipulator.
Yeah, she's a manipulator. She
admitted
tell on us for everything.
Like a couple years ago when she like slap herself on the arm and give her a red mark.
So, yeah, we guess we found that out growing up. She'd like maybe give herself a mark of some
yeah.
sort and say we did it. And
Yep.
it was kind of like Megan from Drake and Josh.
Absolutely. To be fair, of the times we didn't get caught, we probably deserved some of it.
Yes, exactly.
But, Kristen, we love you. It's all right.
Yeah, and Kristen, here's your shout out. She helped us tape this year on the Game of Thrones broadcast.
She did.
So thank you, Kristen. And this is probably the only time we're ever going to talk about you.
Yep. There you go. 1 minute of fame.
Anyways, back to Caleb. I came up with this question today. I would say your biggest quality as an athlete, obviously you're good at multiple sports, and football being your best one and being one of the best players in Lake Mills history. I said your tenacity is probably the biggest quality you have as an athlete. Where do you think that comes from? And I'm just going to bring up a little story. I asked Caleb last year before his senior year of football. I was like, do you ever get tired, playing both ways and playing all special teams? Because the people that don't play football, they don't understand how much of a wear and tear or a grind that is physically. And Caleb told me that he just hit stick somebody and that re-energizes him, so then he's not tired anymore.
Well, to be fair, Burns warns everybody on the sideline, hey, we'll just watch Caleb
on this kickoff. Yeah.
Yep.
So where do you think that tenacity comes from? Is it like a mindset? Is it from your dad? Is it from siblings? Or what is it?
It's from Logan, absolutely.
Like, it kind of makes sense because I used to beat up on him all the time. He still kind of makes me mad sometimes when I beat him up. It's kind of like a mindset I get into before the games. Like, you guys probably understand this from like playing football, but it's like football just is different, I think, with like your mindset and like your preparation for the game. Like, I just get in a whole different like zone, and I just like, this is gonna sound bad, but like you want to kill everybody in the other jersey than you, and like you're playing for like all your brothers around you and stuff, and like when you said, like when you get a big hit, like all your teammates, they're all like super hype and they're like jumping around and just kind of like energizes the whole sideline and just makes it fun.
No, it's almost like something just switches like in warm-ups, mindset wise.
Yeah, I was always more quiet.
You have music.
Yeah.
No, yeah, you have music. You have, you're preparing to hit people with different drills and things like that. That's probably what does it.
You're literally hitting somebody on every single play. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not much like it. High school football is not much like it, but it also shows in basketball too. Like a totally different sport. Like you're the school's leading rebounder. You rebound every single ball. Like
that's where that. Well, never getting tired for one, but you don't hit people in basketball, so it's just your mindset in general of like never stopping. Like
yeah, that kind of sounds like.
And you have to.
You
have to have a good idea of where a rebound's going to go too, which
it takes some IQ, takes some athleticism. Caleb also, what was I going to say? Oh, how many of the rebounds do you think were your own misses? Probably like half of them, right? Probably just like missing a lot of shots.
Oh,
might have been close. Hey, I was getting hacked for some of those too. You got to remember that. Mr. Menke always told me he was like, you might be the weirdest like officiated player I've ever had in my life.
It's like the Shaq rule.
He
was just so much stronger that it didn't seem like he was getting fouled.
Yeah, it's
compared to everybody
thing.
else.
They say the same thing about LeBron too. Just being so much stronger, it doesn't look like you're getting fouled, but you actually are.
Right. Now we're not saying Caleb is Shaq and LeBron, but
now do we want Caleb going to the free throw line?
That's Shaq.
That's Shaq.
Now,
okay, I'll give you in between Shaq and LeBron.
This is a good time to bring up double order of bacon. We came up with double order of bacon whenever Caleb.
We had to discontinue that.
We did have to discontinue it.
Was way too many.
We were clogging our arteries. It was bad.
Spencer Brackey did away with that from the menu.
Keto bacon only diet. That's what it is.
Keto bacon only. Well, you were feeding us enough bacon towards the end of the season. But for the listeners that don't know, Caleb, not the greatest free throw shooter in his career. But then midway through his senior year, Spencer Brackey, a Lake Mills alum, worked with him on his free throws, and his percentage went up.
Skyrocketed.
Yeah, skyrocketed.
So we said anytime you made 2 free throws, because it was a rarity at the time, it was a double order of bacon. Well, then it happened more often than it needed to, and we were...
It was just too much bacon. It was too much bacon.
Couldn't do it anymore.
Exactly.
But, kind of switching gears a little bit. He's got... Okay, go.
Me and Chris also worked with free throws a little bit, too.
We did. I wasn't as successful. That was last year. It helped for, a little bit, and then...
definitely the free throw struggles for Caleb wasn't due to a lack of effort. It was just
Or even touch, because it wasn't like you shot like a line drive or a hard shot. It just wouldn't go in.
it just wouldn't go in.
It's never got the soft bounces.
Sometimes I was just feeling it, and sometimes like it's just like I have like a touch of the ball. Like sometimes, like some days I just don't have it. And like this is gonna sound bad, but at the state game, I like completely switched up my how I shoot my free throws. They all went in.
Why?
Usually, no, because in like the leading up to the week,
What?
it wasn't working.
Didn't.
Like I was shooting like crap from the line in practice, because usually I would like, you know how I would like pause up here and then finish.
Yeah.
You know, like awkward looking free throws, my normal.
Yeah.
And I just down here in the state game and like went all in one motion, which is kind of what you're supposed to do. But I went 3 for 3. It felt better. Worked out.
Okay.
All right.
I was just gonna
Fair
ask
enough,
what
fair
you
enough.
went in the state
Yeah, I
game.
couldn't
'Cause
remember
I
or
couldn't.
not.
If you'd have went 0 for 3, I would have
We'd be ripping
probably
you right
not
now.
talked to you.
We'd
again
be
at this
ripping
point.
you right now.
Yes.
I wouldn't have said that if I would have went over 3.
That
Fair
is
point.
true.
That
You
is
would
a fair
have never,
point.
I would
That's
have
a fair
never
point.
brought that up either.
Now,
Are we gonna talk about that scrimmage that we had after the season? I was just.
Well,
you mean
hey.
when I was mad at you?
Hey, we'll get to that when we talk about the second question on the rapid fire round.
That'll go perfect.
So this will give them a little suspense. They
Yep.
don't really know what we're talking about right now.
But anyways, Kennedy, your dad is the wrestling coach at Nyack, correct?
Yep.
Man, shout out to him. He just had a national champion this
Is
weekend.
Minto?
Yeah, Christian
Yep.
Minto. Yeah.
Christian,
So
yeah.
Yep.
with girls wrestling becoming more popular, if it started earlier, would you have ever done that instead of basketball?
I mean, I don't know if I would have done it instead of basketball, but I would have definitely tried to manage both.
Okay.
I actually did do wrestling up until like 4th grade, and then my mom made me quit. Shout out to her. But yeah, it was devastating. But now that it's becoming like so popular, like I still follow the sport 100%, and I actually tried to wrestle out at Virginia Beach for high school nationals. I think division. So I was just gonna go wrestle out there to try it out. But yeah, so that didn't end up happening. And then they do have like girls state here in Iowa now, and so I don't know how that would work out because West Hancock doesn't have a team. But this next year, I'm gonna like really try and go down and try and wrestle. I don't know how I would have to go in like an open.
What's
or something,
does anybody know what the closest school is that has a team?
I know it's.
Does Osage have one?
Yeah, Osage does. But like not a lot around here, which is kind of
Can't think of
surprising
any.
because it's very popular right now.
I can't even say if Mason has one.
I don't know either.
I haven't seen
Well,
anything.
for college, I know Waldorf has a women's wrestling team. Our
They've
women's
had it for
wrestling
a
team is
few
actually pretty
years
good.
now.
I think pretty decent long
Yeah.
time. They're actually they had a good year this past year. But next question. So far this track season, it's been a little iffy with weather. Been
Well, it's
really,
snowing
really
right
cold.
now,
It is
so
snowing right now as
That's
we're talking.
literally what we've done through the last two and a half weeks.
Yeah, so the weather hasn't cooperated at all, but you guys have still had a few meets. Like, how has that gone? You guys let's go Caleb first and then Kennedy.
Yeah, we'll go with the worst track athlete, then we'll go to the best.
True.
Well, usually, like, I think we've had, 3 meets now canceled maybe? And sometimes, like, one getting canceled is, like, nice if it's, like, a super far away, like, meet. You're like, oh, that was, like, not too bad. But, like, sometimes you just want to run. Like, I know that's what I was feeling like. I just wanted to run after that 3 meet break. And we finally got to Thursday and Friday. And I know Mr. Rice was pretty impressed and proud of us running Thursday because we broke almost like all of our new PRs because we haven't run forever.
Mm-hmm.
And like he says, it's kind of just like meets is what makes you like run faster. Like you can't get faster running practice over and over and over. But right now, I think in our district for our like state qualifying meet, we have a pretty good shot in multiple events to make it down right now. So
where do you go for the qualifying meet? Do you know?
Northwood. Yeah.
Okay.
Northwood.
We have a pretty nice
Like
track.
Yeah, that'll be. I mean, short distance. You don't got to travel very far.
They got the new track a few years ago. I think when I was like a junior in high
something
school.
like that. But yeah, you're right. I mean, you have to run in a meet because there's only so much like adrenaline and build up you can have in a practice.
Well, also, there's
Like,
believe it or not, like there is like strategy in track. I know it's just you run fast, but there is strategy. You got to know like for a 200, obviously, like you want to sprint the whole time, but you can't run at 100% the entire time. So kind of that timing and
how quick you can build up to 100%.
yeah, and where
Not that we were ever fast.
that's not. This is just what I've learned from actual fast people.
Yes.
You like going around a curve, there's certain strategies, or if you're running like a 400, you gotta time when to pass them and stuff like that.
Or if you're running into the wind compared to with the wind.
Yes, exactly. So I think Dan Rice saying getting better through meets, like just learning that stuff, and obviously the experience of just going through it really helps out a lot.
Yeah, putting what you learn in practice to actual use against other teams and athletes. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Kennedy, how's your track season going?
It's gone pretty good, but I would definitely say like the weather has put a strain on a lot of things, and we're not seeing a lot of the times that we would be seeing if we had a lot of track meets and good weather in. But it is going pretty good. At the beginning of the track season, I was having kind of a lot of injuries and stuff like that. So I was only put in like 2-3 running events every track meet instead of 4 like normal. But now I'm kind of like building up again and running all the events that I would most likely run when it comes to districts and stuff like that. But it's going pretty good. Like 4 lows is going really good. And we just got our shuttle team back because Rachel was hurt. And so she's back now. And so we got that going. And then just like some other relays, they're doing okay.
Gotcha. And then with the injuries thing, that kind of takes us into one of our other questions. You guys have both faced injuries. I know, Kennedy, you had a really significant one last year. Did you rupture your Achilles, or is it just a small tear?
It was completely torn.
Completely torn. And you were somehow ready for basketball season. I think it was in the summer you tore it? June or July?
Yeah, June 6th.
June 6th. And then you were ready for the season. When did you get fully cleared?
It was
like December, January.
Yeah,
like
it was a few games
January.
into this. No, it was after the Garner game, so it would have been like, I don't know, whatever our schedule is. It would have been like the 5th game in. I was like 100% clear.
So like
December.
mid-December. Okay.
Yeah.
Late December.
Yeah.
So that's...
I'll say, to be honest, when I
6
heard about it in
months?
the summer, I didn't think you were going to play.
Well, because they say Achilles injuries.
I've heard, yeah.
That's the one injury that people are most worried about, like coming back from.
Right.
Like people say you're never the same after, and I think it's Richard Sherman. He's kind of been the most recent one that's been good after the injury. Because like Kobe Bryant, obviously when he was older, he tore his Achilles and never the same. He's never the same player. And you're able to come back 6 months later, and Kevin Durant tore his. And he was out over a year.
Yeah.
So that's pretty impressive. You were able to come back from that so quick.
It's very impressive. And what? Caleb broke his foot last year, right?
Yeah.
Early last year.
First game of junior season.
So yours wasn't as bad, but you had to miss half the season-ish?
Yeah. I think I missed 10 games out of like our 24, 25.
Right. So the regular season, you missed about half of them.
Yeah. I came back. I got injured Brit game. Then I came back. My first game was Brit again.
So yeah, you missed the whole first round of conference play.
Not to jump back, but Kennedy, people say when you tear your Achilles, it feels like you get kicked. Like people look around and think they get kicked. Did you feel the same thing?
Yeah, that was like literally the same exact situation.
Yeah.
I definitely felt like someone kicked my heel, and I actually looked behind me because I thought somebody was behind me, but nobody.
That's what
they say.
Yeah, she said she thought someone kicked her. Like those exact.
I remember I was snapping you, Caleb, and I was like, they say that you feel like you got kicked.
Isn't
You're
that
like,
what
that's
Kevin
exactly
Durant
what
did?
she said, huh?
Isn't that what Kevin Durant did? Didn't he turn around and look?
It's something like that, yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of the first time I heard that, and then that's so weird. I don't ever want to experience it.
I never want to experience it. Thank you for going through it for us, Kennedy.
Yes.
You can tell us how it feels.
Like, if I somehow did that in just a pickup open gym, it would be the
gosh.
worst next months of my life.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're not going to come back in 6 months like Kennedy Kelly did.
What am I coming back for?
Exactly. What do you have to work
Go
towards?
teach?
Go teach. Just being a boot all the time.
Yeah. No, it wouldn't be as cool.
But also, Caleb, didn't you break something during football this past season? Did you break your wrist?
It was
or something?
like, I think there was like a weird bone. I don't even remember what it's called, but it's like one of like the
Scaphoid.
it. Yeah, scaphoid. But it's like one of the.
Caleb doesn't even.
He doesn't even know. It had happened to him.
I broke it freshman year 2 for football because I was in a cast for like 16 weeks in this because I broke it in baseball in 8th grade.
Oh, that's why you
in
quit
it,
baseball for a few years.
Yeah, that's why.
Thanks.
But it's like the worst blood flowing bone in like your body almost. So I went to the doctor after the St. Ansgar football game, and I was already like I didn't even feel the bone in the game, like or I didn't like feel anything until the next morning. I couldn't move my wrist, but I went to the doctor and they basically said like they don't know for sure if it's broken or not because it's like such small of a bone that like sometimes you can't see it on X-rays. So they just like precautionary put a cast on it. And I was telling them because right away I asked the nurse, I was like, so I can still play football, right? And she's like, I don't know about that. And I was like, what? And I'm like, I'm not putting the cast on that. Yeah, I was like, no. I was like, it's not happening. But then we just put it on there precautionary. And then we come back and they still really weren't sure if it was broken or not yet.
Interesting.
So they said it could have been like a small, like little hairline fracture, but they were really not sure. It hurt really bad though.
And that changed your role on offense because you were the center before, but it was your right hand that you hurt, right? So you weren't able to snap with the cast on, so you moved to tackle.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is where I played sophomore year, so not really so much of a huge like change because I played there sophomore.
Well, right, too, but which one do you think you were better at this year?
I don't know. I feel like it kind of all depends. I kind of liked playing tackle a little bit just because you get like really good angles for like linebackers and stuff. Like you can kind of just like blindside linebackers.
Yeah.
Caleb is not legal now.
Well, you don't get that much speed. You can still hit him like that.
Oh, well, Zach knows all about it. It's on tape. When you got decleated on the side.
Oh my gosh, I got lit up this year. It was bad.
That was hilarious.
Put that
Okay. I shouldn't say
Put
hilarious.
the clip in there. I'm not going to expose myself
Mom was
like
like
that.
almost crying. And I'm like, Mom, he's fine. He just got absolutely rocked.
It was so weird. Like, I literally just get hit. It should have been a penalty, and it wasn't. It was right before half. And I just laid there. Like, I was fine. Like, at the time, I just laid there. They're all like, Zach, you okay? And I'm just looking up at him as I'm just laying on the ground. I'm not even moving for like 5 seconds. I eventually get up.
And it was the other team sideline. Which
the other team sideline. They're all around.
Yeah.
Yes, it was bad. We ended up winning that game, so I'm glad we did. But
there was one time, I think like one time my whole like football career I've gotten blindsided, and it was in 6th grade. Shout out Elijah Wagner.
Chubby Caleb.
He did fourth.
Your own teammate back when he wasn't your teammate? Oh, man.
Yes, Elijah we always talk about this. We all remember this. And it was like right at the end of the game, like the last play. And he just I was kind of like blowing up all their plays all game. And he said he was just like super pissed off and he just wanted to hit me. So he blindsides me. I just get launched in the air because he's a big kid too. We're both like the same size.
Yeah.
It was a big collision. It hurt really bad. I remember not being able to breathe. Like my whole air in my stomach.
And then he becomes your fellow. Was he All-State too?
he was All-State.
Fellow All-State.
I believe so, right?
Teammate. Yeah. That's cool. I did not know that.
I didn't know that either. I didn't even think about like them playing when they were little, like playing against each other.
Because that you said that would have been YSF stuff back then.
Was that YSF then? 6th?
Yeah.
Do they even do that anymore? Do they
No, they do 7-on-7 flag
football.
stuff.
They do flag.
Yep.
So when I was little, I would have never played.
You couldn't be running back. We know.
No, but I know. But like 7-on-7, like
Oh yeah, you wouldn't.
I would have never played.
You could have tried quarterback.
I could have tried.
You
QB.
would have had an arm.
In 5th grade, I broke my arm, and I was all-time QB. I could throw some dots. That's right. I could have played QB. I wish we would have had 7-on-7.
For the listeners at home, can you tell them how you broke your arm, please?
My first ever football practice in 5th grade. For some reason, I was obviously over the weight limit. Like I was never gonna be able to touch the ball.
Here's your title to the story. Odell before Odell.
Odell before Odell. They throw it, but we're running routes for some reason. I'm not ever going to touch the ball. Why am I running a route?
Because that's what we do.
It's dumb. And then they throw it behind me, so I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go up with my right hand, reach back. It was literally like Odell. Except
in your head, it probably looked really cool, but you were not.
It felt really cool.
Yes,
and nobody's ever told me it hasn't looked cool, so I'm just going to assume it does. But anyways, I reached back with my right hand, and as I'm falling, I went to go cushion my fall with my left hand, and I landed on it and broke, I can't even remember if it's radius or ulna.
Well, don't ask Caleb.
Don't ask Caleb. He doesn't know. But I believe it was this one on the inside.
Didn't you catch it, though?
No, I didn't catch it.
I thought you did.
I don't think I did. No, but yeah, Hunter Kingland. If Hunter Kingland listens to this, he asked me, Zach, you all right? And I'm like, I feel like I just snapped my arm.
Wasn't this before your first practice?
It was my first ever practice.
First ever
football practice.
Never
I
even
broke my
started
arm.
practice.
I played in more games that year than practices because later in the year I played in 2 games, but it was so cold we didn't practice. So yeah,
what a story.
That's kind of just my first ever. I ended up playing college football, obviously, but my first ever football practice, I broke my arm.
You were 0 for 1.
I broke my scaphoid first time, freshman year. I went up we were playing park ball, and I go up and I get pushed. I just completely like lose my balance out of the air, come down, land on my wrist, snap it.
Yeah,
those rims are tough.
I drove home on my moped. One arm just limp like this, hanging down on the highway, driving my moped with one arm.
the typical moped age, like 13 or like 12 to 14.
Yep.
Just riding around on those mopeds. Freaking, I think Slade had one. We used to ride around.
Do
on
many
that one
people
too.
even have them anymore?
Is that still like a big thing for that age?
I think our grade and grade above us was like really big into it. I think it's kind of like dying down a little bit, but they're still
they're just not committed. Okay. They're not committed like you guys.
Not diehards.
They're not committed to the moped gang like we were.
But also he brought up park ball. So you guys know, park ball is our hoops outside the Lake Mills School on the playground. And back in the day, they used to be like 8 feet, and we used to just go out there as high schoolers and just ball it up.
Double rims, though, so it hurts.
Double rims. There's no give.
The actual court is probably half the size of a real court, if that.
Caleb brings up a good point. He says you catch bodies. And as an athletic specimen, I caught bodies all the time.
Too many
I was
to count.
dunking on people.
Too many to count.
It was actually just a great day if I could even throw down with nobody there. So
imagine playing park ball and your job is to be a spot-up shooter.
That's me. I could get hot at the park. I could go
To be fair, if you got hot on those rims, you're a good shooter.
Yeah.
No, they're tough. Kind of like when Antoine torched Bennett.
Antoine torched Bennett. Yep, exactly. Bennett's going to be really mad. Yes.
Were you there for that? He did. He won the game.
Bennett will never admit it.
No, but he did. We all saw it.
Antoine Jackson cooked Bennett burger.
Yep.
There we go.
I wasn't there. I just heard about it, and I know it's true.
He did.
Yeah, exactly.
He is going to hate us for that.
Oh, I know. But kind of taking a more serious approach now. What teammate, or you can pick a couple teammates, we'll start with Kennedy on this one, have pushed you the most in your career?
Any sport.
Yeah, it could be any sport.
Okay, I would definitely say, I think I have a couple, because I've played with some good girls in the past, but I would definitely say Rachel Lear is my number one. She definitely has a lot of goals, and she is one of the hardest working people I know. And so just being around that pushes you. And so, yeah, she's definitely my number one. But like my freshman year, I guess my sophomore year too, I played with a lot of good girls, and that's when we got down to state there. And just like that whole group of girls, like Mahala, Riley, and Amanda, and then just like Rachel and Maddie, they're all girls who really wanted to get down to state and really pushed the boundaries and worked hard every day in practice. And so like just being around people like that every day makes you better as well.
She was Rachel in particular, she was 3-time Conference Player of the Year, wasn't she? 3-time? Yeah. Which is no small feat.
No, and the only reason she lost, did she get hurt end of regular season this year?
I can't remember, but it was going to be her and Audie for the award.
Right, so that didn't help.
Yeah, that didn't help. It kind of eliminated her from the conversation.
And to be fair, Audie is also just a rare animal. Person.
Hopefully, if you're listening to this, we hope to have you on.
Yes, at some point.
Yes.
And to be fair, you already have 1,000 points. That is insane.
I scored like 250 in my career. So
we've already talked about
this. Yeah, we have talked about that. Oh yeah, Caleb has like 2 or 3 times as many rebounds as I do points. So that's kind of my claim to fame. I should put that in my Twitter bio.
Your claim, that would be his claim to fame.
My claim to fame. I have 1/3 of the amount of points as Caleb does rebounds.
What is famous about
that? What a stat. People are like, wow, this guy was really good. Are you kidding me? But Caleb, who are kind of your couple teammates that you think of that pushed you in your career?
If I had to think of like a couple, obviously.
Well, according to the story earlier, it's Elijah from 6th grade.
Never wants to get
actually, he was gonna be one of them anyway. But
yep.
All right.
I'd say like him, Casey, Mayo, because we or especially like this last year, me, Casey, Elijah, Jack, who else was there? I'm gonna feel bad. Whoever, if they listen to this, they're gonna think I'm being mean, but I can't think of the name right now. I feel like there's maybe I already say Jack, but we would like go to the fitness center during football season in the morning, and then kind of just like push each other and like try to get better in as like a whole. So we go there in the morning, and then we go eat at my grandma's house. Shout out Grandma Hagen. She fed all of us every morning. When we went to lift for breakfast. But I say those guys because they're obviously all super good athletes. And they just pushed me in football, mostly those guys. But Mayo in basketball, and Bennett, he was going to get mad about it, forgot about him. But
he would, yes.
He's already not happy with me, so.
The whole key situation, that's a story for off air right there, the key situation.
Oh, he wanted the key, didn't he?
Yep.
I assume you did not get it.
He wanted it at his house, and I left it at my house.
Oh,
He
okay.
was mad.
Well,
yeah.
And then we took a shot at him with Antoine, so he had to recover a little bit.
Yeah,
right
he had
there.
to recover a little bit. I will say, with your grade, or just kind of the Lake Mills culture in general, it's improved a lot in terms of, lifting and working hard. Like,
Absolutely.
Even my senior year, like, we would have never done something like that. And obviously the results showed through you guys' sports this past year, and it is really awesome to see. It's really awesome to follow all you guys.
Well,
Especially
this might be the most accomplished
it
and
has to
talented boys grade we've ever had.
it
Like,
has to
Beamer
be.
sent out the Athlete of the Year voting, and I won't give away who I picked, but we have to pick nominees.
Yeah.
And then pick one. Like, some years there's like, one or two that are legit.
Mm-hmm.
This year there's like 4,
Yeah.
5.
Well, we talked about
Then
it
you mix
on,
in Deshaun.
We talked about it on Casey's pod. Like,
Yeah.
just there's
Yeah.
so many
Between
accolades
Caleb,
between
Elijah,
the four
Deshaun.
guys.
Now I'm going to forget somebody.
No, yeah. I mean, Jack Raymaker.
Yeah.
Like, just solid athletes, good careers all across the board.
If you play 4 sports, you're going to be considered.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's a lot of them that do.
Yeah, so the class of 2021 for Lake Mills, one to remember.
Yep.
What's up, Caleb?
That's the question. I was gonna say Deshaun too, because we for basketball, like we played AAU ball for I don't even know how long, because we played on that Rochester team too for 2
True.
years. I like you can definitely tell that made us better. Like we go from these little pitiful, I don't want to say pitiful, but like freshmen, and then 2 years later we're back-to-back state appearances. So
Yeah, but also I played against you in middle school, so like that helped you too.
Chris thought he was just the best in the world, pulling up from 35 feet against a bunch of.
Oh, I did not.
little
That did not happen.
A little background here. Chris was the 8th grade coach for the seniors now.
Yep.
So Chris would practice against them, give them a really good look. And
Well, Caleb was good size back then.
I can just imagine how good you thought you were just cooking 8th graders.
Guys, you're talking to somebody that still goes to PE and plays like
With
kickball
8th
against-
graders, yes.
Dude,
and
we
comes
played-
home and brags
Hold
about
on,
how well he
hold on,
did against
yeah.
8th graders in
Hold
kickball.
up. I'll make it even worse. We played wiffle ball the other day.
Yeah.
The other team didn't score a run. Made like every play.
So I'm convinced this guy doesn't even teach at Forest City. He just pops in random 8th grade PE classes, and Jeff Jerome allows him to do it and just dominates.
No, Jeff
8th graders.
loves it. Anyways, yeah, it's a good time.
You're ridiculous, man.
Speaking of baseball, kind of though, Kennedy not doing softball. Caleb, I've already kind of given you the pass on not doing baseball. I mean, it's kind of legit, even though I should make him do baseball because he's going to Iowa State.
Just act like you're really mad about
And
it.
then just beat him every practice, and maybe he'll change his mind.
hit him in the head a little bit, maybe fix what's going on up there, make him go down.
No, but legit though, Caleb went back out last year, and you were supposed to leave midsummer anyways, so I mean it wouldn't have worked, and I didn't want you to get hurt going into college. So, yeah, we kind of already answered that question through all the other questions.
through the other questions, but I do want to make a point. Caleb did go out for baseball last year, and I don't think it was any coincidence that you guys won a conference title.
Yeah, I mean, he DH'd quite a bit. Ended up being the starting first baseman in the game that we won it outright at Forest City. He did almost cost a run or so by interfering at first base, but
I don't remember that. I went to the game too. I don't even remember that.
it's honestly There was one call before that I thought should have been it, but they didn't call it, so then we got that one. So I still argued it, but it probably was fair.
Yeah.
But no,
I
that's
really understand it. I saw one other kid do it from like North Iowa. I saw their first baseman do it, so I thought it was okay.
well that one was more respectable than a different one earlier in the game. So I didn't have too much to complain about.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's not just Caleb coming out, but him coming out and us having success. Probably the funnest season I've had coaching anything.
And Kennedy, you have done softball in the past, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
And then last year, kind of with the injury, obviously you couldn't play.
True.
So then, is this summer
Yeah,
more?
well, I actually,
No, you're good. You're good.
I actually was not gonna do softball last year just because I was gonna travel for basketball all summer and I wasn't gonna have time to do both. But then I got hurt, so
It
Gotcha.
was karma.
maybe.
What did you play in softball when you played?
I played pitcher.
I think I remember Kristen saying that.
Okay. I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Yep.
So, Kennedy versus Kristen pitching. Who wins?
I'm not gonna say, but we might be talking to the person right now, to the winner.
I don't see Kristen in here.
Exactly.
Behind the camera?
So, she is not behind the camera.
No, she is not behind
She
the
is
camera.
not here. We're kind of roasting Kristen this episode.
Kristen,
It's
I'm
kinda-
sorry,
Kristen,
but-
you're the
Yeah.
man. You're the man. We love you.
Who used to say that?
I don't know.
I think somebody said that one. Well, Matt did call her a fifth brother
At his wedding. That's true. In his speech,
and he
said,
didn't even know.
Growing up with 4 brothers.
That was
Yeah, it was awesome. But anyways, we're gonna get into the rapid fire round. Quicker answers. It never ends up being a rapid
it's
fire
never
round.
quick.
It
It's
never ends
just
up being quick.
More to the point questions, but stories still break off of it.
Exactly.
So, first one. Caleb claims he was really good at wrestling back in the day, AAU state title or whatever he said. I don't remember. If right now you called your dad in and they went head to head, who's winning?
I'd say my dad. I'd pick my dad any day over Caleb.
Yep.
Do you hear that,
I
Caleb?
agree.
Don't
It
talk
was
about
like
wrestling.
fifth grade. Fifth grade, like
Okay. You always say you would win against anybody.
State runner-up.
It's because he had nobody to wrestle because no kids were as big as him back then.
Ooh,
Exactly.
look at that.
Actually,
Look at
There's 2
that.
kids in the bracket.
And
If
you
you
only
look
got
back
runner-up.
Yeah.
Second
It's
place
like-
is the first loser, pal.
have I told you who I lost to? You had to look at my comp. The kid in first place, he wrestled Iowa. He wrestles at Iowa State right now. Okay?
No way.
You're going to Iowa
And
State.
he
What's
was
your point?
he's a beast. Actually, shout
Okay,
out
just
him.
let him go. Let him go.
All
And
right.
then there was like 3 other kids in my in the top 8 who were maybe like 4 or 5 actually, but they placed in high school state last year. My dad saw their name, pointed them out.
So that little argument you had right there did not change my thoughts at all. Kennedy's dad is still just gonna
Yeah.
absolutely wreck you.
You're done.
Yep.
I will say you will probably beat him in a 1-on-1 in basketball. You probably
More
will.
than likely.
You never know.
For sure.
All you gotta do is just hack a Caleb.
Although,
Put him on the leg.
leading into that next question, that open gym after the season,
Yep.
you can take the next question, but it made no sense.
So we asked this question because when we were playing open gym, literally the same week as state basketball, a few days after.
And remind you, if you don't know Caleb's basketball game, I think he took 1 pull-up all year, and that was like first round, and just clanked it.
Yeah, and people would play off Caleb, not known as a shooter, and
Kind of like the Ben Simmons treatment.
it's kind of the Ben Simmons treatment. Probably a little bit more than that, but he during the pickup game, Caleb just starts pulling from 3, and he's hitting everything.
He's
started out
not
5 for
even
5.
touching rim.
He's not even touching rim. Literally just swish after swish. And everybody that's playing is somehow affiliated with the Lake Mills program. Everybody's just mad at Caleb. Like, scream, where was this during the year? Where was this? Blah, blah, blah. Caleb, you didn't miss for the first, 6 or 7 threes.
It was insane. And it wasn't even like lucky ones, like it bank 1 or 2.
No, yeah.
No, just nothing but net.
It was kind of making everybody mad.
Yeah, I started guarding him.
One was in your face.
One was because people were just leaving you open, and I was like, okay, we can't do this anymore. So I put a little more pressure on him. He made the first one, and after that, I didn't. I don't think he made one later.
Caleb
after
cooled
that.
down substantially as the night went on, but still to see him get hot like that, we wonder what could have been.
It
Caleb.
is mad. It is maddening. It's.
But
Maybe some intramurals at Iowa State. Maybe I'll just turn to a shooter.
as a fellow intramural champion, I hope you do well in intramurals. Intramurals was pretty fun at Waldorf. So
Never got to play.
because it was your sport.
Yep.
What do,
Actually, they let us play one time with the cooks
and you guys
from the dorms.
and you guys got cooked.
We got cooked.
You guys got
Because
cooked.
only one of us was allowed to play at a time, and we were playing like the best team in the dorms. And they were talking mess to me, like, "Hey, Coach Mole, look at this guy's on your team." I was like, "Dude, this is your mural stick here."
You guys kind of deserved it. But anyways, that was all a preface, for our question. Who wins in a 3-point shootout? Because obviously, Kennedy, you're a very good shooter in actual games. But who wins?
We're gonna have a split decision
Okay.
here.
I'll answer this question. So we had a 3-point shooting contest in our gym one time. We went in there, and I beat her. Right, so that answers that question right there.
But okay, he was using a woman's ball, and when I gave him the men's ball, he shot like 1 out of 5, and I killed him. So he can't shoot with his own ball.
Yeah, you can't shoot with the
boy.
women's ball. You can't shoot with the women's ball.
yeah,
Caleb.
but
Thank you,
like,
that's what I said.
yeah,
I agree. But usually, like, when you switch to a women's ball, like when I do, I like airball
shoot
long.
worse, yeah.
Yeah. So how does that make sense?
It's harder, but I'm just
No,
that much of a shooter.
He's
I'm
just-
So then,
But
when
that
it's
advanced.
easy, so then when it's easier, you're worse.
yeah.
You went 1 for 5.
Yeah, like I need to challenge myself more. Basically, is what it boils down to.
Maybe we should
Interesting.
every free throw or every jump shot you ever took, we should have just like slipped you a women's ball during the game.
I'm
or
just
something.
gonna say if there is like my life is on the line and these two are shooting threes, I'm not picking Caleb.
I am taking
anytime.
Kennedy every single time.
Never. I'm not taking.
Yeah,
Caleb.
I am taking Kennedy every
I
single
will.
time.
I will live with dying if Caleb wins.
Yes, if he somehow gets hot, like the one day at pickup, just made every single three.
But it's one day.
It is one day.
That's what you gotta live with the odds.
It's the little Giants one time. 9 out of 10 times, you might win.
One time.
Yeah. But hey, the next question. So Kennedy, we'll start this question with you. Who is the best team you faced? And it could be any sport. Who is just a team that
Could be
you're playing
talent
against?
or just a team that's just annoying to play because they play so hard, or I don't know. It could go a bunch of different ways.
Just like during the game, you're like,
Yeah.
these girls are legit.
I would say that's like pretty easy for me. My freshman year, we played Newell Fonda in the state final game, and it was terrible playing them. I mean, it was miserable. They were so good that year, and they could have probably beat out 2A, 3A, 4A, maybe not 5A, but they were so good that year. And just like their press, I don't know if you guys have ever seen them play before, maybe against Bishop, but
Yep.
it's like unbeatable. You can't beat them.
Do they back then? This year they kind of play like a 5-guard lineup. Has it been that way in the past too? Okay. So I just know
Yeah, I would say so. They've never really had like a predominant post player ever since I've been in high school, at least. But yeah, just like that Ella Larson, she was kind of more of their post player, which she's maybe 5'9", 5'8".
I was gonna say I don't remember any super tall girls.
They've won 3 straight now, right? 3?
Yes.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time.
Because that would have been her freshman year.
If they
And
won
then
before that, maybe. I'm not sure.
They won last
They beat
year
Bishop.
because they beat Bishop.
Yep.
When Bishop, in my opinion, should have won.
Should have won.
Joyce doesn't
And
foul
then
out.
they dominated Bishop
They
this
killed them
year.
this year.
After losing by like 25 during the regular season.
At
to
Newell.
them. At Newell.
That didn't make no sense.
That was a weird matchup. The Bishop and Newell. What's up, Caleb?
You're telling me your theory about the Bishop game. The first
Oh,
one.
I don't know.
yes.
The first one, the regular season.
I kind of had a theory that was how that was supposed to
I
go.
remember this,
I don't know.
but yeah, say it, because I remember.
I mean, like, their coach is very smart. He's been in that position many times. And so I don't know. I wouldn't have wanted to go out there and show all my stuff, especially when you know you're going to have an easy path to the state finals.
That and
I don't know.
more than likely.
I think
you're
he
gonna
played
play
it
good
smart.
again.
Yeah.
Fair point. I forgot you said that. That's
So did they?
if that's the case, and just taking a lump, that's a high level.
Well, like,
Coaching
did
right
they?
there.
I never got to see the regular season game. Did they play it that much differently?
I never saw
compared to the first
I'm
time.
not sure.
Yes.
They did play it
I
that
would-
much differently.
Like, they didn't press at all. I mean, there was a few times they did, but, like, they didn't press at all.
Yeah,
They were
that's weird.
not really shooting anything. Like, I mean, there was some times where there was, like, a few seconds of, that was good, whatever. But, yeah, they don't play like that usually the first time they play Bishop, in my
Interesting.
opinion.
Because it's, I mean, if you lose that game, you lose your number 1 ranking. That's about it because it's a non-conference game.
But you know you're going.
It's not going to do
like
anything to you later.
So.
Yeah.
It's not going to hurt your seed going into postseason because you lost the number 2 team.
It's not like they threw the game. It's just obviously, like Kennedy said, you're not showing everything you would do in a state final game.
Right, because you just played them in the title game the year before.
Both teams know each other very
Yeah,
well.
no, that's true. I wouldn't throw that out at all.
Caleb, what's your answer to the question? Best high school team you faced?
I don't know what I want to say. What I think I'll say.
Probably just have to be Monticello, or not Monticello. Montezuma. Both Monty, you know.
Yeah, I got you. But yeah, I assumed that was gonna be your answer. You want to elaborate on that?
I thought it'd be Monticello too.
It was either gonna be them or it was gonna be like someone we played in football. Like Osage was really good our sophomore or our junior year. Got blown out by them. Or like I didn't play freshman year, but Summer Fredericksburg.
Yeah, no. I remember that team. Yeah,
there's South Winnebago.
Really South Wind.
But anyway, Montezuma.
Yep.
They just like literally just can't miss.
Yeah,
50% 3-years, like you don't see that.
And the one that sticks out in my head is the one right before halftime. Like when we were sitting up calling the game, just thinking in my head like, well, time's running down. He still hasn't even tried to drive. So if you're gonna shoot that, fine. And then he made it.
And Trey Shearer hit like a 35-foot three.
Yeah,
That's
I was on the bench. I was on the bench for like I think I had 2 fouls or something, but I just saw him looking at the basket and I saw the same thing as you guys. I was like, he's gonna shoot this.
Yep.
And Bennett was like a little bit off him too because I think he was expecting a drive and his hand was just like in his face and I was like he's gonna hit this. Yeah. His hand was just like far enough down where like he can get a look off and I was like, oh my god.
And that tied it right to go into half.
Yeah.
It was like 40-40 at half.
Yep. And then, they end up winning it all and dominated. They controlled the better part of a game against everybody's favorite to win, the Northland in the state title game.
Yeah, I mean, they
controlled
won
that whole game.
2A last year.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's just...
That Montezuma team was legit. And
guys, it's not going down this road again, okay?
Not going down
it's
this road.
It's taken a couple months to get over it.
Well, we are talking to literally one of the players who I think is handling it better than you right now.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay.
I feel his pain. I didn't get to state, but
that is
I
true.
feel it in baseball.
That is true.
It's never fun.
We also want to say to you, thanks for letting us ride the coattails, of a great season this year. Game by Thrones, announcing some stuff, getting to broadcast down there was really cool. And
we got a
you
picture
were obviously
with the state banner.
That was awesome.
That honestly, as dumb as maybe it sounds, that was very cool.
Yeah. They were like, hey Chris, come take a picture with us. And I was like, okay, I feel like I just made state basketball.
We should have just took the banner and be like, hey, yep, you guys can get out here.
Say, oh yeah, no, we don't need the team. We don't need the team.
Anyways, most memorable high school moment. Doesn't even have to be sports either.
Yeah. Like, what's the one thing when you look back on high school, you're like, that was my favorite memory?
Oh, God. But it's probably going to be a sports moment just because, like...
Yeah, I figured, but...
Well, I would say, like, one that just, like, sticks out for, like, great moment. I like give, like, a good one and, like, a funny one. But...
Sure.
My good one's just our 2 state appearances, especially the Turkey Valley one, just because that was our first one, and obviously that, like, means the most. Like, just because we went from losing in, like, the second round sophomore year, and it was, like, never really had a shot at the state tournament. And then we're in Charles City with the gym packed to the very brim, and just there's like fun. Thousands of that atmosphere was awesome in Charles City. Like that was by far the funnest game I've ever played in my life.
Shout out Chet Helming for 39.
Well, yeah, and then you have Chet going off for 30 or whatever in the first half.
And we just recently figured out that he was playing Fortnite until 4 a.m. the night before. So
whatever works, man. Whatever works.
I did not know that.
He told us that the other day.
But just like watching that. Hold on. Let me finish this one.
Oh, gotcha. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Like just watching, cause me and Colby, I was inbounding the ball to him. There was like 7 seconds left, and we were just smiling at each other because it was like the greatest moment, probably in our sports history. But the funny one that sticks out to me is probably I don't know if you guys have heard this story or not, but it was like a muddy day out and it was kind of wet, and Mr. Kurtz has teased the ball up on the tee because he's like kicking. I don't even know why he was kicking anyway, but we're like practicing kicking. He goes, biffs it slips on his kickoff, just falls. He's got white pants on.
Oh,
falls right
no.
on his pants are just all dirty. Everyone just dying laughing.
So it was a Charlie Brown.
It was a Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown.
That is hilarious.
Was that like a coach's challenge thing? Was that a coach's challenge event
Had to
thing
be.
on
I
Thursdays?
don't even think it was that. It was just he was messing around trying to.
To
kick
be
the ball.
fair, though,
I think
if it was muddy, he probably wouldn't have been on the field for Thursday. They'd have been on the practice field. You don't want to mess up the field. So.
Yeah, he says it was just during the week. So
Yeah.
he was on the practice field. And
No.
I think he was like joking around with Seth, like, here, I'll show you how to kick, blah, blah, blah. And just, biff.
because I think he was a pretty decent kicker in high school. I think
Don't
he was their
look at
kicker.
me. I have no idea.
Oh, there was a story. Mr. Kurtz was telling us all about his high school career during practice one time, and then we did the coaches challenge. We were doing a kicking challenge, and Kurtz just boots one, and he turned around and he's like, "I was the kicker too."
I did not know that. Well, so then he showed it up.
Then he showed,
after
Then
that.
he slipped. Was that this past year, or is that your junior year?
I think it was junior year.
Junior year. That's tough. I'm sure Kurtz will listen to this.
He'll
Sorry,
probably.
Brady. Sorry, Brady.
He did just talk you
I
up,
brought it
though,
up
too.
to him
Yep.
numerous times.
That is
I think it's
hilarious.
We have another. We have
Yep.
a couple more
We got two
questions
left.
here. It can depend on the sport. We've already kind of talked about it with Caleb. But Kennedy, do you have a pregame routine for basketball? Like, do you have a set routine, or you kind of just go with the flow, change things up? What do you do?
I think I definitely have a set routine because I'm very superstitious. So everything has to like go in a certain way. Otherwise I get really nervous about the game.
Mm-hmm.
But this year was a little different just because like I had extend my routine a lot just with stretching and like using like I have this massage gun. I liked using that before games and just like starting really early during like the girls' JV game. But just like going to get changed and stuff, like that's all normal. And then we go down and shoot always. And then I always have like the same thing to eat before the games. And then listen to this, then come back and stretch with Rachel. And then we go in, have our talk, and kind of just like visualize the game and get really serious. Because like for the game, I'm very serious. I don't joke around or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's kind of like the mood I want to get in.
Absolutely.
We should
No.
also bring up that her music that she listens to is like, like driver's license. Like she'll listen to music like that. Like
I
not
respect
like even
that.
hype song.
Hey.
I respect that.
It's like-
I'll
all
listen
that
to really any
works.
song I enjoy.
Yeah. Now, Caleb, are
Oh,
you
yeah.
superstitious or just a little stitious?
I was gonna make a little stitious joke.
I beat you to it.
What's it from?
It's The Office.
Okay, thank you. I was gonna say if you didn't know that was from The Office, I was about to. punch you.
Absolutely.
But are you a little stitious, Caleb?
I'd say I'm a little stitious.
You're a little stitious.
Basketball, like the only thing I'd say I do is I double knot one shoe and I just leave the other one normal. I got
Okay,
one double
so like,
knot.
can I leave? That's the weirdest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, that's not
That
a
would
little
bug
stitious.
me.
That's a pretty superstitious.
That's
thing, right?
more than superstitious.
But it's because one is like a little bit longer because I wear my brace, so it like makes one of them a little.
Gotcha.
Oh,
There's
so
more
you like
lace.
the
There's more lace.
length. You like the length kind of to match. Look
Yeah.
at that. Interesting.
Because okay, I get that.
For football, I kind of just do the same stuff every time. Like I basically just put all my stuff on, like, and I'll just sit there and just listen to like Drake, like or like Meek Mill, Dreams and Nightmares. That's
Dreams and Nightmares.
That's
That's
pump
the
up.
song.
Just so everybody knows, before all the boys basketball games on the way there, I'd play Dreams and Nightmares in my car.
This is true. You'd send Snapchats.
It worked. I mean, for the most part.
I had a thought. Just a little. Oh, no. What was it? I just had a thought. I was gonna ask another question.
Oh, hold on though. What was my pregame routine last year when they were in the playoffs?
You'd warm up the nets. You'd go into the Lake Mills gym beforehand and warm up the nets, and somehow think that would help them shoot better.
Yeah. Well, that's all that matters.
I'm trying to think. I had a freaking question, and I can't remember.
You had a question off of this?
Yes. You asked this question. I'll
right,
think about
okay.
the rest.
Final one. There's probably numerous to choose from, but who is your favorite brother podcast duo?
Many options here.
When you sent us that question, ever we were like, we should like look up another
other ones.
podcast.
Yeah, I figured you'd do that.
Look up another brother duo.
Just some random like
They don't even know
California.
who it is. Yeah, they just say some
brother
random
podcast.
thing.
We won't even make you answer. We just
Yeah,
know.
we just know. It's okay. We just know. But I thought of my question. So when I was in high school, obviously like Charlie Duggar, Slade, and Luke Groh, they were multi-sport athletes, and they were all very good at track. They say track is the most nerve-wracking sport. And that was Slade. He played, obviously, he wrestled in the state finals a couple times, some of the biggest stages in Iowa. Is that true? Like, is track the most nerve-wracking right before a race?
Yes.
I would agree.
Do you think
Just 'cause,
that's depending on the race? Because you only have if you're running a 400 or less, you got a minute tops. If it's a 400, you don't have much time to.
The margin for error
yeah.
is very, very little.
Yes.
Well, what do you think about that, Caleb?
And because I'd say like one big reason it's like you got one shot. Like it's like in basketball game, like there's tons of possession back and forth. Football game, like in your race, you have one shot to beat the guy next to you.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. He did it better.
One misstep can ruin a whole time.
Yeah.
You stumble out of the blocks or something.
Hey, that's the only reason I got a second place medal.
Or even in like a relay.
Knows me. Dude fell on a hurdle.
You're so stupid. What
saying.
were you gonna say, Caleb?
In a relay, like one or two steps off, like a handoff, can just make you slow down, and another team beats you by 0.04 seconds or something.
Yeah,
it's over just like that.
That was just an interesting thought that I've always thought about because obviously, I was pretty experienced on the track back in my day. In the 4x4.
Dude went through a couple track cleats, just got too hot.
No, I used to use Chet Helming's track cleats when he was a freshman.
How?
I don't know. They fit somehow, but I was burning them.
No sense.
Ran like a 118 400. I was booking. I got the pity clap because I was the anchor. I got the pity clap.
Isn't that the worst?
That is the absolute worst.
I wasn't in that, but my senior year, nobody went to state because Logan pulled his hamstring and stuff. So I never ran in the 4x4 in my life. And Rice, and this is when the top two go. It's not times.
Top two in each.
We had 3 of the top teams in the state. He puts in the JV 4x4. Who anchors it? This guy. You know how bad we were getting killed by then?
You're definitely not built for that.
I wasn't. 400 hurdles, maybe.
Which you actually weren't bad
Wasn't
at.
bad.
Dude, this is kind of a 400 hurdles.
I was the
because
closest one to state of anybody.
Because obviously, Caleb, you ran as a freshman. You're good. Kennedy, that's your event, isn't it? Isn't that kind of like your thing?
Yeah.
400. Yeah, and then you were
No.
okay at it, and then I ran 400 meter hurdles. I ran like a 54, probably. Yeah. So. We're all good at the event. It's pretty cool, all 4 of us.
I would love to watch you run a 400 meter.
I never want to go over a hurdle in my entire life. I've always thought about it, like a track practice. I'd be like, I'll go over this hurdle. Nope, never once. Never going to.
I will say I did
gotta be,
not do my fair share of hurdle practice.
What's
400
that, Caleb?
Has to be top 3 worst races. Probably top 2, either 400 lows and 800 top 2 races, the worst.
Right.
I would agree. Districts. My freshman
you
year, I was getting in the blocks, and it was at Osage, and it was 40 something degrees, and it was coming down, just raining lightly. It was the worst race I think I've ever ran in my life. I thought the meet was about to get delayed or whatever, so I was like, all right, I'm fine. And they called us up, and I was like, oh my god. Got in there. It was the most miserable race I've ever ran in my life.
When I ran the 400 hurdles, I always thought I'm running my best time this one, and then I get to the last turn, die. Every single time.
That's where we differ there. I tended to get stronger.
You could run 800. You could run an 800.
On that last turn, I was like, "This is my race," and I finished.
So you're in fourth and just pass everybody.
That's where I kick it in. Yeah, that's where I kick it in.
All right, let's move on.
Hey Zach, you want to talk about the thing I was going to tell you about? Remember?
Sure.
Oh,
I don't know what it is.
I was just going to bring up when I was a manager and
little pre-draft roast.
Yeah.
And it's not really a roast, but it's I was just your towel guy back then because Zach was a big sweater. He was the one guy who had a towel on him all the time. I was that guy who had just had his towel. He was turn around, toss it to him.
That is true. I obviously am a big guy, so I sweated a lot. And I needed a towel during games, and the worst part about having a towel is that somebody would like spill water on the floor during a timeout. I'd be like, hey, is there a towel anywhere? Is there a towel anywhere? They'd toss mine, and they're just wiping the freaking floor with my towel. Then I have to use it after that.
I will say, when I was a manager, there was a guy like that too, Blake Henley. If he leaned against your knee, like if you're wearing jeans, sweat spot. So eventually, I started putting towels over my knees.
Nice. But
so it happens.
Caleb was a part of the greatest managerial team in Lake Mills history. So
Most talented.
Deshaun
was part of it, right?
They did their job. No, they just from a manager standpoint.
No,
they took great stats. They always had the water ready.
What, they inflated your assists or what?
I mean, we're not going to talk about that, but maybe.
Okay, draft time. Now, I've done my fair share of research on this. My first hour study hall, there's some girls in there. They didn't have any homework to do, so last week I'm like, let's start brainstorming movie couples. Okay, so we're drafting the best movie couples of all time. So we'll each have a team of 5. We're not doing TV. Correct?
Yeah, not TV, just movies.
I've even printed off a list.
Hey, secret something.
Not TV?
Not TV.
Just movies.
Just movies.
Yeah, it says movie couples.
Movie
Come
couples.
on now.
Pick, bro. A TV couple was our number 1 pick.
Who was it?
What?
Meredith and Derek.
Oh, yeah, you'd have won with that one.
Yeah, I know.
That's Grey's
Easily.
Anatomy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, if we did TV,
Shows
I would have
I'm
never
good.
thought of that off the top of my head.
So
But
how to trigger teenage and young women? Grey's Anatomy sucks.
totally overrated.
They all just clicked off.
Overrated.
They all just clicked off.
Okay, we're done. Okay, so draft. You guys will get the first pick. I'll go second. Zach will get the 3rd and 4th. I'll get the 5th, and you guys will get 2 in a row, and we'll keep going on that way. Curious to see who... Okay, no, I know who I would pick top, but I am curious to see what they pick. So the number 1 pick in the movie couple draft, Caleb and Kennedy are up.
Okay. No. Okay.
This has got to be Kennedy's wheelhouse. Caleb,
Yes,
you can just,
Caleb, just sit this one out, man.
You can even leave if you want.
So we're gonna go with from High School Musical, Troy and Gabriella.
No,
That's a good one. That's a good
I love
one.
High School Musical. Golly.
I would not have went with it with mine, but that would have been like my second.
I didn't even think of that, but I love High School Musical so much.
The High School Musical is very good.
All right, second overall pick. That's a grade A pick from Caleb
And to be
Kennedy
fair,
right there.
it's one of those few movies the sequels are maybe not just as good, but still high quality.
The sequels are better than the original.
High
School Musical 3 is the best one?
Yes. 2 is below
2,
1
yes,
for me.
I agree. It goes 3, 1, 2.
Okay,
Yes.
so there goes Troy and Gabriella. So, I'm obviously... Oh, God, now I see the whole list. Allie and Noah, The Notebook.
I was thinking
Easy.
about that, because it's just an iconic romance movie, chick flick.
Yep.
If you're a bird, I'm a bird.
Every girl loves it.
Done. So that leads to me. I'm gonna go with a very, very iconic one. I'm not a huge fan of the movie, but I'm gonna go with Rose and Jack from the Titanic.
Nope. Rose, horrible person.
Jack
Jack could have lived.
There was room on
Jack
that
could have
little
lived.
board. There was room on that board. So the third pick, I picked Rose and Jack from the Titanic. With my second pick, I'm going to take... Oh, come on. I thought I just saw one. Oh, I'm taking another iconic. And they might not even be a couple, technically, because this girl's kind of back and forth between 2 guys.
Well, then you can't pick it.
But I'm going to take Edward and Bella from
Yeah.
Twilight.
Yeah.
I'm Team Edward. What are you, Team Jacob? Are you Team Jacob?
I
Yes.
don't watch that show.
I mean, I watched one of them, but I still act like I'm a fan. So,
Okay, well, there goes that one. And now I need... Oh, gosh. Yep. So I'm kind of going with so they've got like the fun couples. You got... I don't even know how to classify yours. Yours is weird.
that's great.
I'm going with the sentimental ones.
Sentiment. Okay, come on. What we got then?
Gus and Hazel, Fault in Our Stars.
Gosh, that's a good one. No.
Fault in Our Stars. Okay.
Just great movies.
The guy dies, doesn't he?
Yes, he does because his
think he
comes
does.
back.
Yeah,
Yep.
something like that. Yep.
We get
Spoiler alert: Gus dies.
Oh boy, that's tough.
We get 2 picks, right?
You get
Two
two in
picks.
a row.
Yep, 2 picks.
Okay, so we're gonna do the couple from The Longest Ride. I don't know what their names are specifically. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Is that the Miley Cyrus movie?
No, that's not Miley Cyrus.
Then what? What's the longest ride?
The Longest Ride.
You guys have
No
never
idea.
seen it?
We are boys, so it's not out of the question.
Longest ride. Let's look
Look
it
him
up
up.
quick.
I'll just put Longest
No,
Ride
it's
for now.
solid.
Oh, it's Hemmingsworth. No, is it? No, it's not. Who is it? It's Scott Eastwood and Britt Robertson. It's a Nicholas Sparks book.
Yeah,
adapted
that's gonna
into
be a good
movie. Yeah, that's
mean,
not
to
going
be
to score
fair,
many points with us. but I'm
Haven't
sure
seen
people
it,
that have
but
seen
like
it.
anytime the movie
You guys
starts with
gotta go watch
Longest,
that after this.
it's just got to be Longest Yard.
What? Just two brothers are just going to watch some chick flick together. Like is
That's
that what-
actually what we were gonna do next.
It's more than that. You'll get a lot out of it.
All right,
That's
pick
definitely
number
next on our
3.
list then.
I don't even know if that's on here.
All right, Chris is up.
No, they have to pick.
No,
number
sorry.
three.
You guys get 2. My
he's-
bad. My
oh,
bad.
Lord Almighty.
Sorry.
You're up.
Okay,
His pick, by the way.
I don't know how good this pick's gonna be, but I was debating between a couple. We're gonna go with Jackie Moon and his wife.
Excuse me, what? Does anybody even know her name?
Does he even have one? Think about his wife. She's never in it.
I'm looking at
Okay,
Unless
him.
she like Unless she dies or something.
Show the picture.
He's got a wife on this phone. I don't see it.
Is there a picture there?
I'm looking it up. Jackie Moon wife.
Show it to the camera.
You don't want. I don't want to show it to the camera. Zach can show you.
Stacy Moon uncredited. Oh, it's one of the cheerleaders. But she's like
No
not in
way.
the movie like at all. That's
Okay.
okay. You can take that
All right,
pick. That's
Fine.
dumb.
Yeah, you can live with
No,
it.
no, no, no,
No,
It's
no,
locked in,
no,
buddy. It's
no.
locked in, buddy.
He's Oh Lord.
I'm sorry.
NFL.
I didn't
I'm the commissioner.
He's the
discuss
commissioner.
with like 8th grade girls over movies, Chris.
I use my sources.
That's true. Resources.
Resources.
you go.
Close enough. It's
I
got
just
sources
don't
in
watch
it.
movies straight up.
Okay, so Kennedy, are you okay with this pick?
Absolutely not, but we can just go with it.
Yes.
Let's go.
That's the soundbite right there.
Yep.
Okay, my third. You guys are just okay. Are you just gonna hand me the win for this or what?
I'm winning. What do you
No,
mean?
you're not. I got a couple options here. Make sure I don't miss one. All right,
I don't even know who.
we're gonna go Baby and Johnny, Dirty Dancing.
Nobody puts baby in a corner. Mom will appreciate that.
She
She's a
will.
huge
Good job.
Dirty
Good
Dancing
job.
fan. So
So you're up, big dog.
so we all have 3. Oh no, I get 2 more.
You get 2 in a row. No, there was another.
I am going to take the Beauty and the Beast. There's Bella and the Beast.
It's not even-
Talk about true romance right there.
My
Great
my
message.
students did bring that one up.
So
good
yeah,
work.
a
Good
great
job.
great
Good
pick
job.
right there. So I wish the movies for this were more iconic. I would have taken it easily. I'm not locking it in, but I'm thinking Romeo and Juliet right now.
Yeah, because there's some spin-offs of Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, there's a lot of versions. I might go with. I'm gonna scroll up here, see who's maybe a better option. I've never seen that movie. It's got to be kind of movies that I've seen. But let's go with this. Let's go the superhero route. Let's go with Clark Kent and Lois. Isn't it Lois? It's Lois, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
okay.
gonna be one of mine too.
That Superman.
So you chose Jackie and his wife over that. Good job, Caleb.
Good job, Kent. Yeah, we were just roasting
All
you
right.
for picking Jackie Moon over Clark Kent.
Fourth pick on the winning team is going to be. Where's it at? Yeah. Brian and Mia. Fast and Furious.
That's a pretty good one. I'll give you that, man.
Oh, we need 2.
Yeah, you guys are finishing off your team right now.
Yep, this is the end for you guys.
Oh, no.
Wait, we have 1 more or 2 picks?
You have 2 picks left.
Oh,
Right in a
geez.
row.
And
Hold up. We gotta do a little
Okay, so
searching.
I think
Yeah,
our
I'm looking
first-
at mine too.
Our first pick is gonna be the couple off
Do
The Incredibles. You know what I'm talking about?
The husband and wife.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
So
a real
Mr. Incredible and
Mrs. Incredible.
okay.
That's the real.
I didn't know if she had a different name.
I can't. No, you can't remember what her name was.
Okay, close enough.
That's a good couple right there.
We got this one, I think.
Oh, yep.
Okay, here we go.
What are their names?
I don't know. I'm looking that up right now.
Oh no. It's no.
Okay, from the Kissing Booth. Noah Flynn
Noah Flynn
and
Ooh, yeah.
That'll hit a lot harder with the younger crowd.
That's a good one.
Those are pretty good movies, but some people didn't really like it.
How do you not like that?
I know Taylor didn't like it at all.
What's the name of these two?
I don't know. I've never seen. So just say. Is it the name of the movie? Is it literally just the name of the movie?
I know it. Yep, got it. I couldn't remember the name of the movie.
Oh,
That's the
gotcha.
whole point. Okay, so I had. So what was it again? The Kissing Booth one.
Yep, Kissing Booth.
What's her name's Noah.
Noah and something. Just say Kissing Booth.
Okay. All right, my final one. Lady and the Tramp.
Lady and the Tramp. That's a good one. Definitely appeals to the animal lovers. You know,
Absolutely.
Like people who just.
Got to appeal to the animal lovers.
I'm
All right,
trying
Zach.
to think here, man.
Need the papers?
I have one more pick. One more pick. So I kind of want to. I thought about going the route of. So I'm just gonna say what I'm thinking right now. Casablanca is one of the most iconic movies of all time, and I watched it in a class. So I might pick it because
Cool.
I kind of want to
remember
go.
asking.
I kind of want to go with it. I'm gonna go with Ilsa and Rick from Casablanca. He said like there's iconic parts.
Ilsa?
I think it's Elsa, yeah. And she could have walked in, or out of all the gin joints in all the world, she walked into mine.
That's that movie?
Yeah,
Oh.
that's Casablanca. It's at the end. He's walking with the guy, and he says, "I believe this is the start of a beautiful friendship," or something like that. That's that line.
movie.
Yes,
Okay.
iconic movie.
All right, so
Hold on.
We'll put a poll out
Is there
on
any
this.
chance
Oh,
I can
no.
change my Jackie Moon pick? Any chance?
we did allow me to change mine.
Did allow a pick after.
Are you going to allow it?
We'll
I'll
allow it. We'll allow it.
Just
after the
because
fact.
it was absolutely atrocious.
That might be the worst pick in the history of giraffes, by the way, Caleb.
I know.
I mean,
I don't watch movies. It was just like a
Slade
reaction.
picking Jackie Moon for his basketball team was a better pick.
Yeah, that's what I was.
This is true.
Yeah.
See,
But that's
you have the pick.
All right, we've got a substitution.
All right, we're gonna put you guys on a shot clock here. Something
All right.
Iowa would never do.
This
the
might
clock.
be
Sad.
another bad one.
it is.
This might be another bad one, but it's all I can think of right now.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Bugs Bunny and Lola Bunny.
That's better than Jackie Moon and his wife. I'll give you no.
Still not amused.
Yes.
That's a good. No, it's a good one.
Yes.
I'm trying to think. How could we have went a different direction with like cartoon characters like like
Are we missing an
Oh,
iconic
hey.
cartoon couple?
Skunks
The Chipettes.
from the Looney Tunes. The skunk. What's
Oh, I
his
thought
name?
we were
Yeah, I have no idea what their names are.
Yeah, I can't remember.
The French.
Are we?
French name.
I was thinking like a Mickey and Minnie Mouse type thing.
Oh.
That'd be a good one too. That'd be a good
True.
one too.
That is true. I still
But-
think we're missing one, but that's all right.
The teams. Read us the rosters.
We will
Chris.
put a poll out, but Caleb and Kennedy with Troy and Gabriella from High School Musical. The couple from The Longest Ride. Bugs and Lola Bunny. Mr. and Mrs. Incredible. And the couple in the Kissing Booth. Mine, Allie and Noah, The Notebook. Gus and Hazel, Fault in Our Stars.
That's a great pick.
Baby and Johnny, Dirty Dancing. Brian and Mia, Fast and Furious. And Lady and the Tramp.
All right, the winning team. Let's read it.
I just did.
No, let's go. I'll read it if you want.
Zach, Rose and Jack.
From the Titanic.
Just a terrible person. Edward and Bella.
Twilight.
Bella,
Bella and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast. I don't know how I wrote Bella.
That's her name.
That's her name.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's
Okay.
Bella and Beast. Yeah.
Bella and Beast. Clark Kent and Lois, and Ilsa and Rick.
From Casablanca. Great movie. Old movie. Watch it if you get the chance.
So,
Thank you, Dave Dan.
Kennedy, I'm sorry Caleb ruined your team.
Yeah, Caleb, you kind of.
Oh,
It's okay.
I picked one pick. She thinks we still got this. So
I don't know. It depends on who's voting.
You know
exactly.
what?
It depends on
really
what crowd.
does.
That's,
really
that's how
does.
it's been with every draft.
But the soundbite was perfect. Kennedy, do you agree? Absolutely not, but we're going with it.
Yeah, that's a great soundbite.
That was perfect. Yeah, so those are some good teams. Some good matchups. If you put
Obviously it depends on who's voting. If maybe the more young crowd will go with Caleb and Kennedy. We both kind of have iconic.
I got some older sentimental ones.
I have the iconic team.
You're more iconic.
Yeah, you have like the actual like romance.
Yeah.
Type thing.
I'm just a romance guru.
Okay, yeah, we're never saying that ever again. Anyways, thanks for coming on today, guys.
Yeah, this was fun.
It was a good idea to have both you on. It's a little different dynamic than just having one guest.
Lake Mills, but we get somebody out of town too.
Exactly.
At the same time.
You get the Lake Mills crowd, and you get in the area crowd. Kennedy, you've been a great supporter of Game by Thrones. You're always liking our tweets and stuff like that. So we
just followed
deeply
her
appreciate
on it
that
the other day.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know we weren't following it already. We try to follow the ones.
We try to follow the day ones.
Yeah.
So you earned that follow for sure.
Absolutely. I think she might be one of the only ones, if not the only out of towner.
Yeah, one of them.
Yeah, definitely appreciate all the support so far. Caleb, we love you. We'll follow you anything. You still got half your track season left, and then you're about done, pal.
And you're just grinding in the summer, getting ready for August.
It's gonna be fun. Now, you still haven't given me a plain red Caleb Bacon shirt yet. I'm kind of waiting for that.
Plain red.
Well, I can't say Iowa State.
Can't say Iowa State. That's correct. Hopefully you guys get some sleep after the late night from prom, the West Hancock prom.
Caleb, I heard you got hypnotized.
I was
get hypnotized.
I wasn't like super hypnotized. I was like in and out of it, but there were some parts that I did not.
Kind of like you were during the draft.
Yeah.
There were some parts that I did not remember.
He said he got his eyes glued shut. He said he couldn't open his eyes.
Yeah, my eyes were like twisted.
Just actually.
Yeah, actually glued his eyes. They actually just putting glue on there.
We didn't have that.
Wait a second.
And
I don't think we had one in mine.
There was one part where he was handing out. She showed me the video. He was handing out like napkins and stuff, and saying they were $100 bills. So I thought they were $100 bills, and I was like grabbing them and whatever, and then I put them in my pocket, and then she showed me the video after, and I didn't know where they came from.
Yeah, he was blaming it on me, and he was
That's
up there
hilarious.
on the stage.
You're like, where are these
pockets? And he was.
That is hilarious.
That's
That is
funny.
awesome. That is awesome.
It's weird.
I actually would kind of want
I would
to
love
do
to
that
try
sometime.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be kind of cool.
Absolutely.
But hey, thanks for coming on today, guys. We had a great time. Episode 5, Game by Thrones, Caleb Bacon and Kennedy Kelly. It's been episode 5. Yeah, thanks for coming on, guys.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.